So you had some family members or relatives that either you cut them off because you were tired of the drama, of the nonsense, of the lack of emotional support, or these family members cut you off. And honestly, baby, if they cut you off, then the trash done took itself out. Because these people were not here to hold a safe emotional space for you. These relatives would do things like basically, sorry, these relatives would do things where they would come, no, not they would come to you, but you would come to them about the issues that you were having with other family members that you were dealing with. Like, let's say you were having trouble with your parent, your mother, your father, or a sibling of yours, and these parents or these siblings were very, very abusive, narcissistic, toxic, dysfunctional, emotionally immature, verbally, psychologically, emotionally abusive. And you were just fed up and you were tired of dealing with all of that pain. And you would go to these relatives or these other family members and you would open up to them. You would vent to them about how they were treating you and how it made you feel. But these people that either you cut them off, or these people that you went to for this emotional support, they could not hold the space for you. But it's not because of anything that you have done wrong. It's because the people that you went to get emotional support from, they are lacking in emotional maturity. And I want you to hear me when I say this, because just because they may be older than you, just because they may be successful at other things in their lives, they may have a career, a job, they may have, their own homes, their cars, they may even be a parent, and they may be married. These people, even though it looks like they are living this adulthood life of handling their own, they still lack an emotional maturity and emotional intelligence. So, because they lack an emotional intelligence and their emotional intelligence level is very low, their brain cannot think up or think of any type of way to be supportive of you, to help you in your struggles, or to even gain an understanding of what you're experiencing, or even gain understanding of how you feel about what you are going through. Because their emotional intelligence level is so very low, their brain cannot fully comprehend how to emotionally support you. So basically, they are they're ignorant in the sense, and ignorant in the literal sense of lack of knowledge. So because they lack the knowledge and they lack the wisdom and they lack the awareness and they lack the consciousness, they are unable to give you the emotional support that you need. And that right there is not your fault, it is their fault. However, how they chose to treat you is even worse, because they chose to be disrespectful towards you. They chose to throw low blows at you. They chose to belittle you and to invalidate your feelings, to disregard your experiences, to gaslight you, to project their insecurities onto you. They chose to do all of that to you. They did not have to do that. They could have been more emotionally supportive of you, where even if they don't necessarily agree with how you are going about your life and how you're dealing and handling with your family that you don't necessarily deal with, they could have held space for you emotionally, but they chose not to. So because they lack emotional intelligence, they did not have enough knowledge and wisdom to offer you. And because they lacked in knowledge and wisdom, they feel inadequate because they are unable to fully comprehend what you're going through. They're unable to fully process how to help you. And because they don't know how to help you, because they don't know exactly what to say or how to empathize or how to hold space emotionally, they got frustrated. They got frustrated with themselves because they really don't know what to do. And because of their frustration, they took a lot of that frustration out on you. And that's why they were disrespecting you and belittling you. Not that you didn't deserve it at all. You did not deserve this at all. I'm not even condoning this. But want to explain where it was coming from. Because they were so frustrated, because they're lacking in their own knowledge and wisdom, they're projecting that frustration onto you. And because these people did not know how to help you, they basically would invalidate your experiences and your feelings because they also were lacking in empathy. The absence of empathy is judgment. They were not empathizing with you, meaning they were not putting themselves in your shoes and seeing how would they feel if they were put in that situation. Because they were not empathizing with you, that's why they were so judgmental towards you. And it's not that you are wrong for how you feel about how you have been treated by your parents and by your siblings or grandparents or whomever this is. It's not that you're wrong for how you feel, because you have every right to feel how you feel. Can't nobody try to tell you how you can feel about something that you have been through. And because they're also lacking empathy, they basically wanted to control how you handled what you were dealing with, because they wanted you to basically match their perspective on the situation. They wanted to control you. They basically wanted you to view the situation the way they viewed the situation, where they view it from the outside looking in instead of understanding and empathizing. So because they wanted you to view a situation in their perspective, and you were not willing to accept their perspective because your perspectives are different, because your perspective is your reality, it's your truth. They basically wanted to invalidate your truth. They wanted you to retell your whole narrative, and they wanted you to come into agreement with their perspective of your truth. You see how odd and sick that is, and how emotionally immature that is? Like, emotionally immature people want to respin the narrative. They want you to come into agreement with their false perspective, their false reality, and they get offended when you don't come into agreement with it. However, if they were actually empathizing with you, they wouldn't be trying to judge you. They wouldn't be trying to they wouldn't be trying to control you. So because you were unable to be controlled, you were unable to be manipulated, your emotions were unable to be manipulated, your narrative, your perspective was unable to be manipulated, because you have a mind of your own and you stood firm, 2 feet 10 toes down in your truth. Because you did not come into agreement with them, because of their lack of emotional intelligence, they took that as a bruise to their ego. And because their ego was bruised, that was another reason as to why they were projecting all of that onto you. And this all just stems from their lack of emotional maturity. And when these people walked out of your life, baby, let them go. The trash took itself out, because you don't need anybody in your life like that anyway. You need people in your life that hold space for you emotionally. And even if they don't understand everything that you're dealing with, they can still empathize with you. They can still support you in your struggles, because if they support you, they support your pain. But these people showed their true colors, that they never supported you to begin with, because in the moment that you needed them to support you, it was to no avail. the trash took itself out. You don't need these people anyway, baby.